Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys been enjoying the content channel as of late. Excuse me for my burnt face. I just went out to surf for 4th of July. Really big swell that came our way. We don't usually get uh, pretty sizable swells, so it was pretty awesome to actually experience them. Still kind of riding the high off that. Um, but uh, but I want to do this video just because I'm just starting to notice something weird, and I'm curious if you guys feel the same. Um, because this is just weird. So, um, so you guys, by the time that this video comes out, we will have talked about the finances or the box office for Jurassic World Rebirth, which seems to be doing well. Seems to be posing for a $300 million debut, which is pretty good. Um, and usually when I discuss these things, I like to, you know, educate myself on the production. How much the film cost, the marketing expenses, kind of get an idea of sorts. What the investment looks like, and I go online to look, and I'm getting three different numbers from three different outlets. So, and it gets interesting in a second here, and I'll display um, evidence to show this because I actually took pictures of the edits being done in real time with these articles that are being put out there from Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline. For some weird reason, they've decided to make changes to their articles, and I find it kind of interesting. And it kind of highlights highlights something concerning regarding disclosures of productions and disclosures of cost within production. So, I believe it was Variety, right? Let me just make sure I'm getting my facts straight. Actually, I have it right here on my computer. So Variety, we'll start with Variety. They initially claimed that the film cost $180 million. And that's the same thing that Deadline has been saying. But they recently, just today, they actually changed their assessment, and now they were saying that it was $250 million. And here's the proof to say it right there. And just like that, they also retracted their claims, and now they're saying again that it's $180 million. Now, you might be thinking, hey, maybe that was an error, maybe they were just making a fluke, I highly doubt that because there's two reasons for that. One, they would have addressed that in the article. They would have made that clear that, hey, we got our information wrong, apologies. Because, that is, it would be bad journalism to not, own up to that, and also to be putting out false information, But Hollywood Reporter also put out a similar number. They claimed that the budget was actually $225 million, and here's the proof for that. And now they too are also saying that the film cost $180 million. So what is going on here? This is a weird thing going on because this isn't the first time that this has happened. We talked about the film F1 that came out a few weeks ago. We talked about similar things happening there, where you looked online and you looked for information, and all these outlets are saying different things. One outlet will tell you F1 cost $200 million. Another outlet will say it cost $250. Another outlet will say it's $300 million. What is going on here? Like, really, what is going on here? I think that it is odd, to say the least, and it really, honestly, it makes me believe that the costs are higher if you're having to intercept these articles and telling these outlets to say things differently, or you're giving outlets different information. One person can say it's 200, one person say it could be 300, one person could say it's 250. I'm led to believe that the highest number is probably more than likely the number. In the case of Jurassic World Rebirth, I'm inclined to believe that it probably is 225 or 250 million in terms of a production, because they're not owning up to it. They're not owning up and saying that they got their information wrong. They're just simply changing the edit and the article. That's it. That's all they're doing. And the same thing happened with F1. No one made any false statements, you know. So something's up here. You know, something is up. I don't know what's going on. I think it's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure this also happened with Snow White also, where they were like, you know, giving you numbers here and there, varying numbers, until eventually I think some outlets, I think specifically Deadline, kind of gave you like the hard truth to the matter. Like it's just really strange, and I don't understand, except maybe because they're worried that the film is not performing to the level that it should, you know, to really turn a profit. So therefore, they're just actually downplaying what the production actually cost. I don't know. I mean, I can get that in the case of like F1, you know, because F1 clearly is not going to be turning a profit. But in the case of Jurassic World, I mean, you're opening at $300 million, and, you know, typically these films do sizable business, so I don't understand why there's hesitations to even present, you know, specific numbers. Maybe they're worried that the film won't even reach $1 billion, which that's a real possibility, given the competition in July with Superman and Smurfs will bring in Fantastic Four. But I mean, just be honest. Like, I just find this really, like, shady and just strange. Because other studios are just more than willing to show you their numbers, and I just think it's just presents a bad relationship with the media. The fact that they can just go to any of these people and just go, yeah, actually that number that you were told by maybe someone close to the production or whoever, we're not going to allow that number to come out. We need you to actually change this number. It provides a lack of credibility to these journalists. Like, they're just at the mercy of these studios, and they'll just, you know, say whatever they want to be put out there, and not necessarily what the truth is, which goes against the whole point of journalism. And, you know, this is not an isolated thing. You know, studios do this often, especially on streaming. You know, there's a reason why you do not hear a lot of the time, you know, about, you know, finances when it comes to films that are exclusively going to streaming. You don't really hear a whole lot about that stuff, because, you know, it's usually self-regulated because coming out of that distributor's streaming service. So either they already themselves have financed it, or, you know, it's a product that they bought and they are putting out on their own streaming service. So they regulate that product, so they can also regulate the kind of news that comes out about it, especially because of the fact that it's on their own platform. So it's not at the mercy of a theatrical chain that's going to get information and get specific knowledge about the production. You know, they don't have to worry about that when it comes to streaming. So that's why a lot of times you don't. And also, a lot of times they fail also on streaming because there's not a large audience to supply, you know, or to justify the kinds of finances that get put into those films. Case in point, a film that came out this year, The Electric State, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have probably forgotten about, because that film, remember, I believe cost upwards to $300-something million. And Netflix made no remarks about it when the film came out, because probably did not do all that well. But because they financed the movie, they don't have to say much about it. And also, it's coming out on their own streaming service, so they can regulate that shit to hell. You know, they're not having to put out information to anybody. So I just just be honest. You know, just studios, just be honest. Like, own up to it. If it is expensive, just admit to it, and then we'll see how things play out. You know, like, you know, for all we know, Jurassic World can actually end up doing fairly well. You know, because I'm inclined to believe that it's 250. You know, or at least 225. It's like why all of a sudden are these numbers just being just being changed as the movie ends during its weekend. Like, why? Why is that? Especially because the movie is tracking fairly well. I just don't understand that. Are they worried that it won't be a $1 billion film? Does it have to be a $1 billion film? Same thing with F1. Does a film like that need to be a $1 billion film? What is the rationale behind that? If it's just to present the image of success when really things are not doing well, then that is just being deceptive, and I think that that's just wrong. But if there's another reason for it, I would like to know why, because I just think that it's just weird. As a person who's trying to find information like this, like, it just is really odd to have like 3 or 4 different numbers and not one solid confirmation, and then to squash all the other ones and have this number be the priority, and it's lower than all these than what the outlets have presented previously. It just seems a bit weird. You know what I mean? Because usually these trades get information, and they usually are pretty reliable when it comes to this information. So for the studio to step in and say, you can't say that number, and for these outlets to also not admit that they were just flat out wrong about it, they just got their information wrong. It just tells me that the studio is afraid of those specific numbers because they, in fact, are probably true, and they don't want to show that they invested too heavily because they're worried that they may not make their money back. I don't know. But it's just weird. It's weird, and I don't understand it. This better not happen with Superman. I could sense it happening with Superman. Please don't. I just want to hear one solid number across the board. I don't want to hear about varying numbers here and there, and then this shit happening where, like, oh, we're just going to throw all that under the rug and then just have one specific number that just conveniently is the lowest, of the numbers. I just think it's kind of weird, and I'm just been noticing that lately. But you guys, let me know. Have you guys been noticing this? Because this is just weird. This happened with, I think, with Snow White. This happened now with F1, and now Jurassic World's also dealing with this, like, kind of not wanting to be honest or upfront. I don't know what it is. It smells more like a lack of faith when it comes to the profit that this project can do, which is weird because I think this film might actually do fine, even with those higher numbers with 250 as its production. Like, yeah, like this movie would have to do perhaps at least $1 billion, but these movies usually perform fairly well. So who knows? Maybe they'll be wrong, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something else that I'm not reading into, or maybe I'm reading too much into it. I have no idea, but it's just weird to me. It's just weird, and I just have a lack of there's something up. There's something up, and I'm curious if you guys feel the same. Let me know. Do you guys think something weird is going on? Do you think studios are just a little bit have some cold feet when it comes to presenting their finances to outlets, or just having certain information out there? Let me know. Let me know all your thoughts on this topic in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.